Before you take another breath, let me speak directly to the part of you that remembers a world that felt real, raw, unfiltered, and alive. Because the psychology of people who grew up in the 1970s is unlike anything the modern world can easily explain. They belong to a generation raised in freedom so wide and wild that it would make today's parents panic. They had no phones, no GPS, no constant supervision, just a bicycle, a few friends, the open world, and the rule to be home before dark. A rule that honestly wasn't even strict. That childhood built something rare, an unshakable confidence in navigating life without instructions. People from the 70s still carry this inner voice that says, "I'll figure it out," even when they have absolutely no idea what they're doing, because deep down they were trained to rely on themselves. But to understand the psychology of the 70s, you must understand the people who raised them. Parents shaped by World War II, by hunger, by fear, by sacrifice. These were not parents who complained. These were not parents who broke down. These were survivors, and they passed their survival mindset to their children without speaking a word. That's why people from the 70s matured early. Responsibility wasn't taught, it was absorbed. If something broke, you repaired it. If something went wrong, you adapted. If life got hard, you kept going. They grew up watching adults shoulder the weight of real life without noise, without excuses, without posting about it. And that environment carved a type of strength that is disappearing today. They learned early that life is serious, but survivable, that problems are normal, that responsibility is part of being alive. The 70s generation didn't just grow older, they grew up. Their maturity didn't come from textbooks. It came from living close to reality with no filters and no distractions. They became the bridge, one foot in the old world where everything was slow and simple, and one foot in the new world where everything is fast and digital. They remember silence, boredom, real friendships, real dangers, real conversations, and today they watch a world drowning in overstimulation. That is why a conversation with someone from that era feels grounding. They're present. They're real. They're not trying to prove anything. Their confidence was built, not borrowed. Their mindset is a reminder that strength doesn't come from being told what to do. It comes from being tested by life itself. And now look at the generation born after 2000, raised on screens, raised on pressure, raised on constant stimulation. Their brains were asked to process more information in a day than older generations saw in a week. They are smart, creative, connected, but also overwhelmed, overstimulated, and exhausted. Notifications replaced silence, comparison replaced confidence, scrolling replaced rest. They are growing up in a world moving far faster than the human brain was designed for, and they're trying to survive it one dopamine hit at a time. So now let me ask you, who had it harder? The ones tested by life outside, or the ones tested by life inside their minds? And more importantly, which generation are you from, before 1980 or after it? Tell me in the comments. And if this message opened your eyes, if it made you reflect, if it made you see generations differently, then subscribe to the Knownsense. Because here we don't just talk, we go deeper every single day.